morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the people of Tube. Hope you are today, hope you're feeling grand and always well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Today, everybody, we are going to be playing around with the Boss Katana, and not just with this, which is very, very awesome. We're also going to be doing a little bit of an experimentation, but I'll get to that in a bit. So, first things first, let's talk about this thing. This is the GAFC-B. Could just call it the Katana Footswitch or the K-Switch. K-Switch sounds cool. Anyway, either way, I've been after one of these for a while, and I finally got one, and I was not disappointed. I mean, I already love the Katana, so I expected the Footswitch to work just as well, and it does. There is one minor little gripe I've got with it, but it's minute. It's tiny. But this is wicked, and it opens a whole new world on the Katana, and actually makes me want to go into the Tone Studio. For the first time ever, I actually want to use the Tone Studio. Not to adjust EQ, sounds, or anything like that. Just to adjust effects. So how I can use this in a bit more of a Dave-friendly way, if you will. So yeah, I love this thing, and it's made me want to go to the Tone Studio, which is bizarre because I've never used it before and I've never felt the need, but now I do because of this. Anyway, the sad thing is this is only compatible with the 100 watt versions of the Katana. The poor old 50 watt, which is buried behind the on here. You can only do 2 channels, but any normal kind of like channel selecting Footswitch will work in the Katana 50. So you don't have to go out and buy a Boss specific, I can't speak, Footswitch for the Katana 50. I use a Marshall. It's basically what comes with the MG, and that works fine on the Katana 50. So job's a good one. But and you can do that with the 100 as well. But this thing is ridiculously cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use the 57 at this point in time because the sounds I've got are the sounds I've had forever. I've done plenty of videos with this mic'd up and you can hear the sounds, and at the beginning all I was using was basically my channel 4, which is distortion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through how I've got this programmed in and also show you my little gripe with it. But other than that, this thing is mega and I really recommend it. If you've got a Katana 100, then I really recommend one of these things. They're so cool. So, without further ado, I really should have had everything ready to go, but I don't. So, I'm going to plug my guitar straight into the amp now. We're going to bypass Mr. Wawa. Because, well, we'll just go straight into the amp. I think it'd be better for the moo. And, yeah, so let's get talking about the Boss the K-Switch. Okay, everybody. So, with the K-Switch, patented Dave Simpson 2020. Anyway, no, with this switch it's really cool. Like I said, I have a minor gripe, but we'll get that in a minute. So basically, it's as simple as as can be. You've got your 4 channels here that you can access. You can't access the other 4 though, because the Katana 100 actually has 8 channels. There's no way of accessing those other 4 channels with this Footswitch, which I think is a little bit of a massive oversight, if I'm being perfectly honest. If they should have had another button in where you could get to it, and then you could have 8 controls. But either way. But anyway, it works just like any Footswitch will. You got channel 1, channel 2, channel 4, and then you've got a one for the panel as well, which is basically that. These are the ones you can save. That one is the one you can't. So I'll just use the panel as a mute. So I don't get any noise coming through. So that's my mute channel, the panel channel. Anyway, and then at the far right here, you've got a button called Effects, and when you click that, basically what you do is you open up like a sub menu, if you want to call it that, where you can access your booster or modulation, delay or effects. You've got a tap tempo, and you can access your reverb. So, if I go to my channel 3, which is like a Jimi Hendrix-y kind of blues kind of tone. So I've got that, and they say you can hear the reverb. So if I click the effects, now I'm into effects mode on the pedal, and basically I can add in a boost. I think a booster or modulation. I'm pretty sure this is modulation. It's a phaser, so it gives you that almost uni-vibey kind of thing. So I can add that in, turn that off if I wish, and then I can also add in delay as well. So basically, that's just channel select mode, so I can go channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. As soon as I'm on whatever channel I've selected, I can click effects, and then I can choose the effects I want. So I can turn the reverb off, I can turn the delay on and off, I can turn my little Univibe fakery off and on. So I want just totally dry, no reverb and delay. No reverb or delay. And obviously you can change them on the amp. You know, with you just change booster to boost, to a booster mode. You can change that to modulation. It's very simple. The Footswitch basically just does what you want it to do. You know, it makes things a lot simpler. And this is how I've got mine set up. So channel 1, let me talk about that now. So that's the effects button. That's how you get to the effects. The only issue is if I go to channel 3 again, if you are in effects mode, you have to click effects and then another channel button to get out of that, if that makes any sense, which can sometimes, in the heat of a moment, be a bit flustering. You know what I mean? That can be kind of like, if you're in this mode and you turn your delay and you're like, oh my god, I need to get to channel 4 really quick, to go like that. You can get a bit flustered on it, and it can get a bit kind of like overwhelming. So I always feel it's important to have Footswitch for each thing. That growing up using individual pedals that are just at your feet, so you can turn them off and on whenever you want. That is something that I like. So the effects thing on this thing works fine, but I would definitely prefer to have another row of switches, if that makes any sense. I mean, the thing is that with the Katana, I'm sure they could have made like a pedal board kind of foot switch thing where you had channel 1 to 8 foot switches, and then channel 5 to. Well, yeah, it'd be 5 to channel 1 to 8 on the channel, so you could have all access to all 8 presets. Have a button obviously for your panel, and then have a individual bar of 4 buttons for delay, booster and mod, delay effects, tap tempo, and reverb. I mean, so you basically have like 12 switches, on a little board. That'd be so cool. And then then this would be like the most versatile thing in the world, because you would never need pedal board, because you've got 8 channels, you've got the ability to turn pedals off and on given whatever kind of preset you're on, and you've also kind of like have the ability to use a panel, which means you can just kind of do things on the fly or whatnot. So it's really cool, but unfortunately it is what it is. But I can imagine that was quite expensive. But anyway, one can dream. So yeah, where are we? So this is how I've got mine set up, everybody. So channel 1 is just for my pedal board. So channel 1 is the acoustic channel on the Katana, and that's just set up for my pedal board. So it's dry and clean. My guitar's out of tune again. These strings are knackered. But yeah, it's just dry and clean because all the effects come from my pedals. So that is just the bass. So that's all that is. Nothing basically, just nice, simple. And the Katana's acoustic channel, I love running pedals through it for some reason. When you're kind of like, when you run them through that, it just sounds wicked. That's better. So channel 2 is my kind of direct sound now. So channel 2 is my clean-ish tone, like John Frusciante tone. effects side of that, I have a chorus. I forget now because I don't really use it very much. But on the effects side of it, on the boost and mod section, I have a chorus. So without whip. Love the chorus, really cool chorus, and this is the delay. But it's a crazy delay, so I can do kind of volume source. So if I had the chorus back in with the delays. And the really cool thing is the delay does trails, so you can turn off the delay and it'll just taper out. Which is so cool, and that makes me happy, I like that. And then I've obviously got my reverb here, which is always on, but can turn off if I want. So that's with, this is without. So that's basically channel 2. Channel 3 is my Jimi Hendrix patch, which you've already heard. And on the effects side, like I say, I've got a kind of pseudo univibe, which is a phaser, then the delay, and then reverb again, which I can turn off and on. And then channel 4 is basically my lead sound, or the main distortion sound. So channel 4 is just this. It's a brown mode, basically. But yeah, I should mention actually as well. But yeah, channel 1. Hang on a minute, I'm on the wrong thing. Channel 1 is the acoustic mode. Channel 2 is the brown mode. Channel 3 is lead, and channel 4 is brown again. I love the brown mode. You can get everything out of the brown mode, to be honest with you. But I do like the lead mode for the Jimi Hendrix thing. I don't know, there's just something about that versus the brown mode. It's a little bit, I don't know, not cleaner, but I don't know, there's just something more Jimmy-esque about lead mode for that Jimmy thing. Anyway, so yeah, channel 4 is basically my main rhythm kind of sound. And then on the effects side of that, I've got my reverb on delay. And then also on the booster side, I have basically more gain. So it just gives me everything. So it's basically just that, and I'd say with delay, it just sounds really nice. Singy with that extra kind of gain from a booster section and the delay. It's really singy. But like I said, I can take the delay off, take the reverb off, and have it really dry. You know, really bone dry rock sound. Really don't like sitting down and playing guitar. Anyway, so that's how it's set up. It's really simple. It's dead basic to use. So just to recap, pedal board on channel 1, Channel 2 is my John Frusciante cleanish tone. Channel 3 is my Jimi Hendrixy tone, and Channel 4 is my basically distortion, rhythm tone / lead tone kind of thing. And I've always got a delay, really. I mean, I like delay a lot. I always have reverb on now, which is weird because for the longest time I didn't use reverb. But I still don't in certain occasions. Certain things you don't need reverb, depending on kind of what you're after. But that's just straight into the Katana. I'm not using any pedals at this point. Everything's coming from this, which is so cool. I love it. I'm so happy. This is so cool. I do love this so much. Okay, so let me talk about my problem with this pedal. Like I say, apart from you can't access the other 4 presets, which would have been supremely cool, and also the whole idea of you got to push one button and then another button, and then to get back you got to press another button to get back to channel select again, can be a bit of a pig, you know. Well, it's more of a piglet, really. That's more of a piglet. You can get used to it fairly quickly, but it's still a little bit flustering, if that makes any sense. You know, the whole idea of kind of like, you know, if you're going, I need to go to clean, and I need to turn that effect off, and I need to go to clean. You know, it can be a bit of a kind of, a bit of a kerfuffle, really, to get back to that. It can be a bit like, oh my god. So just bear that in mind. So another thing, this is my little gripe about this, is the slight latency in changing sounds. So that's my channel 2, so that's my cleanish. If I wanted to go to distortion now, there is a minute kind of millisecond delay. And back. So anyway, if I just drone the low E, maybe. I'll better drone something else because that might get copyright flag from Missaloo. Hopefully we can hear that. That is like a minute little kind of gap between changing, and it's not a major issue, but it's not immediate. You know what I mean? And that is a bit of a piglet for me. You know, and again, because I grew up learning guitar using pedals, which are immediate, straight away you press that button and you get that effect. I spotted that really immediately, and I didn't like it. It's the same thing with the Zoom G5 over there. When you switch patches, there's like a momentary millisecond that is really noticeable. Noticeable for me. And it really bugs me. It really gets my goat. And I don't like it. Goats, pigs, piglets. What's going on? It's a farm. Welcome to Dave's Farmyard. Anyway, and that's the riff for Dave's Farmyard. Dave's Farmyard. Come and see the pigs and the goats. Anyway, sometimes. So that is a little bit of an annoyance for me. And it's just not immediate enough, and I don't know why there's a little bit of latency in that. It's kind of annoying, but I don't know if it's the lead that comes with it that's making it give it latency. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm not I don't know about that. It's just a bit weird. But hopefully you can kind of hear that. Like I said, if I do it again one more time, if I go from clean to distortion, hopefully you can kind of hear there's like a millisecond delay, which really, when you're trying to, if you're trying to get impact, that millisecond delay can make or break that impact. You know what I mean? If you listen to Smells Like Teen Spirit, if Kurt had latency on the turning on his distortion pedal, the impact won't be as impacty. God, I'm great at English. It's like when you play the note, you only get half the note because the first part of that note is kind of cut off from the switch. Which, as much as I would happily go to a gig with the Katana and this, and I would do the gig all night with this, I'd be happy. But I think that would wind me up a little bit, to be honest with you. I think I'd get a bit frustrated with it, and I'd have to kind of like, I don't like to preempt things. I don't want to think about that. When I'm playing live music, I don't want to have to preempt things and think too much about I've got to make sure I press this just before the beat falls, so it's engaged. So it's engaged when the beat falls and drops or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't want to think that. I want to be able to go, right, I need to turn this on, and it goes immediately. No tiny latency. And I don't understand why they didn't have dual use foot switches to get. I mean, I just thought of something. What to get to the other 4 presets? Why couldn't you just kind of press channel 4 again to get to channel 8? You know what I mean? Or channel 3 to get to channel 7 again. Like, have it as dual purpose. So like, you could press channel 2, because that would obviously do that. Have a separate LED above that for channel 5, 6, 7, and 8, so you know which channel you left the preset on, and just kind of like have it as a dual purpose. So that's channel 4. Press it again. That's channel 8. Back to channel 4. I don't know. That would have made more sense to me. Sorry, I'm picking out a lot of flaws, but it is still worth it, and I still love it. But there are a couple of, I've got to be honest about kind of what I would like it to do. I know, I'm beggars can't be choosers and all that kind of thing. But anyway, shut up, Dave. So but other than that, it is wicked, and I do love it. And it is, 4 channels is crazy, and the ability to kind of go to your effects thing and turn them off and on as and when you wish is really, really cool as well. I like it. But like I say, there are a couple of little gripes with it. But like I said, I would happily go to a gig with this. I'm on the wrong setting. I'd happily go to a gig with this. That's another thing as well. It's very easy to overlook that you've got the effects LED on, and you can be like, why isn't it changing channel? What's going on? And then you're like, oh, I've got the effects on. Maybe it's just me. Maybe because I'm stupid. I don't know. But I do like it. And like I say, I've got enough in channel 2, channel 3, and channel 4 to go and happily do a gig with. I've got my clean tone. And now I've got my blues tone. And I've got lead tone. On the delay. I'm sure I bet you could probably change that in the Tone Studio. Anyway, I'm going to dive into the Tone Studio at some point. So yeah, that's the K-Switch. I don't know what, GA, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it the K-Switch because it's the Katana foot switch. KF switch. That's a bit too weird. I like K-Switch. Anyway, but yeah, would I still recommend this, warts and all? Definitely. Because what I would do now is when we can gig again, and I mean when, because nobody actually knows, not even the government knows. So when we could gig again, because I obviously started using the Katana because I'd done my back in basically from carrying these things my whole life. I would always have this with me as a backup. So if my pedal board died, this would be my backup pedal board, and I could easily get through a gig with just this and the Katana. I would like a wah-wah pedal, but if I couldn't have a wah-wah, I would miss it horrifically, but I would still be happy to do the gig, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Everywhere my Katana goes, this will go as well. And I would basically just like bung it in the back of the amp and just kind of like go from there, really, because it's so worth it to have it. Latency problems, fiddly effects buttons and that aside, it's still worth having. If you've got a Katana, it's so cool, and I do love it to bits. And I like not having to go to the top panel to change things. Like I said, there are certain gripes about this thing. It'd be nice to have been able to kind of like have dual purpose foot switches, so you can go from channel 4 to channel 8, channel 3 to channel 7, channel 2 to channel 6, blah blah blah. And it would have been nice to have maybe a separate row of buttons for effects, but it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? But boss, if you're listening, you know what I want. Anyway. He's mad! Anyway, shut your mouth. Dave, I am horrible to myself, aren't I? I really need to restring this guitar. These strings have been on for ages. I think these are, I don't know what these strings are, but they've been on for a long time. They're a bit knackered now. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, like I say, it would have been nice to have that, because again, then you could just have like another 4 buttons to do tap, tempo, reverb, delay effects, and booster mod on that, and then you could have these as dual purpose, which means you'd only need 9 buttons on the Footswitch, which would be well cool. Oh, that'd be amazing. I'm living in a bit of a dream world there, because I'm just thinking, if this was that and that was that, I think we all do that, don't we, with things. But it's because I love the Katana so much, I would like to be able to access it all. You know what I mean? It'd be really, really cool to do that. I don't know. Maybe future Katanas will do that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so that's how I've got this thing set up, and I really, really like that, and it's really, really cool. So, enough on the the K-Switch, because it's wicked. And do I recommend it, even with problems? Yes, I'd still do recommend it. And in all fairness, I know it didn't come with a Katana. I believe it should have come with a Katana. I would have still paid 80 quid more for the Katanas, because the Katana was like 200 quid brand new, the Mark 1s. So it was 200 quid brand new. I would have happily paid 280 to get this with this included. Which I suppose you could have done, really. But it would have been nice if it came with. It wasn't like a separate entity, if that makes any sense. I don't know, maybe I'm just being an idiot. Probably, which is usual. Again, horrible to yourself, Dave. Pack it in. We're not doing this. Stop it. Okay, so, anyway, on to part 2 of the video. Now, this is something I haven't tried, ever. And I really want to try. On the back of the Katana, the 100 watt, there is a DI out. There's a line out now. I've never tried the DI out, but I really want to. And also, there's a couple of things I want to find out about the DI. So, I thought I would do it on vid. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to plug a guitar lead from the DI out on the Katana's thing, and we're going to go straight into the Zoom, and we're going to do a comparison between the sounds. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the mic in, the 57 first, and basically I'm going to go through my 3 sounds. So you'll hear the cleanest John Frusciante tone, you'll hear the Jimi Hendrix tone, and then you'll hear the kind of like, leady kind of tone, with the SM57 miking up the front of the amp. And then the second load of tones you'll hear are the same thing, same sound, but we'll be using the DI. Now the reason I want to know this is because if I go traveling or anywhere else or whatever, I would like to know that I don't have to carry a mic. It'd be nice, and also it'd be nice to know where the volume is on the amp, because I can't remember how it exactly works, and I can't remember the exact terminology of it. But on the Marshall MG's DI out is perfect. It's what I would class as a perfect DI. The Marshall MG, the HDFX. The line out on that is perfect because the sound you get out of that DI is the sound you get out of a cab. It's no ifs, no buts. All the songs I've recorded on this channel recently, the songs I recorded, apart from when I was using a different amp, are all DI from the Marshall. Not mic'd, they're all just DI. And it's brilliant because, like I say, what you get out of the cab, you get out of the DI, which is just absolutely fantastic. And the really cool thing about recording with the DI and the MG is you can turn the master volume all the way down on the amp, and you can still get the DI level. So the master volume, is a total separate entity to the DI, and I really like that thing. And it's really cool for live too, because if you can't hear yourself on stage with your Marshall MG and you're DI'd, you can turn up your master volume and it won't affect the front of house DI signal, which is mega. You know what I mean? Which is so cool. And also, if you're too loud, you can turn it down and it won't affect the DI signal. You do have to attenuate the line out on the MG. The line out is super powerful, but you just have to pad it. Basically, it's not a big kind of like, you know, crazy kind of deal or anything like that. You just have to attenuate the thing, which you can do with a DI box or on most PAs these days will do that. I think even this camera does that. But anyway, but I like the options that the MG has with its DI. It's so cool. Basically, like, you know, you can have that thing whisper quiet, like absolutely whisper quiet, like, you know, in a room where people are talking loudly and talking louder than you, but you can take a DI out from your from the MG, plug it into like a recording software, and you still get a loud guitar tone. You know, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, the master volume has no effect on the DI, which is mega. So I want to know if the Katana does the same thing, because I kind of want it to, because that's what I love with DI. So we'll do a bit of experimenting with that. But first thing we'll do, I want to hear how different the tones are. So first off, we'll hear it SM57, and then second we'll hear the DI, and then we'll go from there. And then we'll do a bit more experimentation with the DI and to see how it works, because I really like DI. It comes from years and years and years of moving around on the stage and kicking microphones from where they've been placed, or microphones taking up space on a very, very tiny stage and just getting in the way. So I like DI. I definitely prefer DI to miking. And I reckon it just... And I like the cleanness of a DI to the... I don't want to call it spill, but kind of like the not so cleanness, if you will, of a mic. You know, the mic can be affected by all sorts of things, and DI cannot. And I like that. It really, really appeals to me, and that's why I love the MG even more. I mean, I've always loved the MG, but like as soon as I found out the DI was that good, and I can just literally do whatever I want, like, you know, and get what I want out of the amp, it was wicked. And I want to know if the Katana does the same thing. I want to know where the master volume sits. Is it pre or post? So can I turn the Katana's volume all the way off and still get a DI signal? We will find out in but a moment, because I've never tried this before. So first things first, I want to know what it sounds like though, because if the DI doesn't sound very good, I'm not interested in seeing where the volume lies, because I would just mic it up. So without further ado, that's a lot of talking. Let's try the DI out. So first things first, SM57, and then we'll hear the DI. Okay, SM57. dokie, people of the tube. In so doing the DI test, I found that, yeah, you can turn the Katana's volume all the way off and still get the DI signal. Some amps you can't. It's more often than not the way that is, the Katana is and the MG is, so you can turn the master volume all the way down, and the DI is post master volume, which means it's got no effect on the DI. Is it post or pre? I always get them mixed up. I'm not clever enough to think. It's post, so it's after. So when you... Yeah, after. Post. I don't know. Someone help me. But yeah. So listening back to that just now, well, as I was testing the DI out, I was like, oh, it's too quiet. Let me turn the volume up on the amp. And I realised the level on the camera wasn't going anywhere. And so I thought, okay, turn the volume off. And then I still had signal, so I was like... Yes! Just another reason for me to love and adore the Boss Katana. I wish I hadn't bothered using a mic now for this video in the intro jam. I wish I'd used the DI. But now we know, people of the tube, now we know the DI. And going back to the comparison we just had with the 57 and the DI, I prefer the DI. It's just so cleaner. And I don't think it sounded any different to the 57. I reckon it sounded clearer and cleaner, definitely. But there was no, tonality-wise, it was all there. You know what I mean? Oh my god. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. That means no matter where I am with the Katana, I can just line out. And the really cool thing as well, it means I can do quiet recording, which means I can just have the amp anywhere I want, plug it into a recording interface, and just listen to it either in headphones or at a studio monitors. I don't have to have the amp volume up to hear it. Oh my god. Just when you thought the Katana couldn't get any better, Dave, it just got better. And I've never tried the DI. I've had that amp for, I don't know how long I've had that amp for, about, I don't know, however long I've had the Katana for. What, the Katana one for about a year, maybe? And I've never tried the DI, and we have to do something. Okay, people of the tube, I just want to quickly try something. It literally just came to mind. On the back of the Katana 50, there isn't a DI out on the back of the 50, but there is a record out, and what's it called? Record. Yeah, phone. It's basically a headphone socket. Right now, I know plugging into that cuts off the internal speaker, but if you're using this live or recording, you don't need the speaker on because you've got your studio monitors, and if you're running it live, you could use monitors, which is a bit risky because it might not give you an exact tone. But saying that, you could always use you could do what the Billy Gibbons does. Why not the Billy Gibbons? You do what Billy Gibbons does and listen to a PA. You know, monitor yourself off a PA. That might be a bit difficult though if you're in a band that has more than one guitar. But you could always use monitors or in-ear monitors. You know, and I think that'll work. But I want to try it because, like I said, I know the record out / headphone socket on the back, and I hope you can see that. Sorry, I couldn't see it was blind filming. Cuts off the internal speaker. But like I say, if you're playing live or recording, you don't necessarily need the amp speaker anyway, especially if you DI. So I want to know what the DI sounds like. Well, the recording out on the Katana 50, because that could be wicked. That could be wicked. I don't know. Let's find out. So let's line out straight into the let's just DI straight out into the Zoom camera, and let's just see what it sounds like. Okay, so that was really, really weird because I had to just play hearing the acoustic guitar. In all fairness, what I should have done is took headphones out the back of the Zoom and put headphones on. But I can't stand headphones, so I just played it blind. And it wasn't until listening back to it just now I heard what it sounded like. That was me blindly. Well, I was using settings I know that I like on the Katana, but I was like, I don't know what these are going to come out like. But it sounded wicked! Oh my god! The only thing in the room you could hear was the clank of the unplugged electric guitar, but obviously coming into the Zoom, you got the whole Pearly King sound, which is just like, oh god! I'm never using a mic on a Katana again. The DIs are everything. I mean, I'll say I don't really like using mics on my MGs, to be honest with you. I'm thinking of not bothering using microphones on my MGs. But the only amp I'd have to use a mic on is my CR120 now. Which is a shame. Orange, put a DI on the CR120. I'm full of my demands today, aren't I? Do this, do that, do the other. Clean my toenails. Get on with it. Anyway. But yeah, so that has made me so happy. I mean, like I say, the internal speaker gets cut off. As soon as you go into that headphone socket on the 50, it gets cut off. But the sound you get out of it is the sound you get out of it, if that makes any sense. The sound out of the speaker is the sound in the DI. The DI is perfect. The DI on the Katana 50, the line out, is powerfuler than the line out on the 100. I had to turn the gain back on the camera to get that to sit nicely because it was peaking out when I first plugged it in. With the line level I had on the line out of a Katana 100, it was peaking out, so I had to turn the gain down substantially on the 50. So the 50's line out is powerfuler than the 100's line out, but it still sounds just as good. My god, I love the Katana so much. They are so perfect. And I like that now knowing. I like that I know now that when I go to a gig, I can DI. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about kind of like putting a mic. Oh, I'll mic it now, DI it, it'd be better. And plus, it's a sound guy's dream. Having done live sound, I've done that for quite a lot of events here and there. Having a DI line out is so much nicer than a mic because mics can be moved. They can be all sorts of issues can go on with mics, and it can become a little bit of a piglet. So, but I do love miking up, but DI for me, I prefer DI. I as soon as I started DIing out my MG, I was like, why am I using a mic? I prefer this so much more. And so there we go. From now on, I'm gonna get a lead in my other in the other room, and I'm just gonna use the DIs on amps. Apart from the CR120, if I use the CR120, I'll also have to use a mic. But the Katanas and the MGs. Oh my god, I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy that worked out well. Like I said, I've never tried the DIs or the line outs on the Katanas once. I mean, I tried it on the 50. I've tried it because I know it cut off, but I've not tried it. I only tried it for headphones, and it didn't. I don't like headphones, so it freaked me. It bothered me, and I didn't really do it. But I never thought for 1 second that it's got my hair. Cheers glasses. I needed that one as well. I haven't got many left. Anyway, but yeah, so let me know, people of the tube, what you thought. Like, because I thought on the 100, the DI, the line out, the DI sounded just as good as the 57, but cleaner. There was just a slight bit more kind of niceness to the sound. It was a bit more kind of like, I don't want to say more high fidelity because it wasn't. It was the same sound, but it just sounded clearer and cleaner to me. And with the 50, with the line out on the 50, the headphone line out, oh my god, it just sounded so good. I am so happy. This is wicked. Whole new world has just opened up with the Katanas. I say with the K-switch and kind of like, and the DI as well. Oh my god, that is so cool. That is so cool. I really want to try the line out now with 100 with my pedal board, but the room's a total mess, and I'm run out of time on the camera, so I can't. I'll do that in another. I'll do like a short video at some point, maybe over where are we now? Over the weekend with my pedal board going DI into the Katana, and we'll and I'll put that up. either Saturday or Sunday, I'll do like a pedal board thing. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do like a little song kind of thing with a looper, and I'll put that up over the weekend. It'll just be like a DI thing. There'll be no mics on the Katana, and just see what it sounds like. I'm really excited. I bet you can't tell. I'm so happy that the fact that I'm talking like I'm motor mouthing as well because I'm overly excited now. But the fact that those DIs sound as good as they do on the 50 and the 100, and the whole thing of the 50 cutting out the main speaker, I don't feel is as big an issue as maybe like I'm thinking it is. Like I say, you can always use monitors. You can always have in-ear monitors. I mean, that's amazing. You mean the thing with the 50s, you wouldn't need an amp on stage. You could have that thing, because it's so tiny, you could have that thing anywhere and just kind of like DI out and then just have your guitar coming through a monitor or in-ear monitors or something like that. Or, again, monitor off a PA. I'm so tempted. I need a gig. I want a gig. Why can't I gig? I want a gig now so I can try it. I want to try the 50 and I want to try 100 live using line outs, but I can't because we're not allowed to gig in the UK. This is so depressed. This 2020 can just go and do one, can't it? Go on. Be on your way. What's next? Godzilla? I'm still waiting for Godzilla and zombies. You know, I want zombies. You know. Not the apocalypse. Anyway, shut up. I'm trying to be aware of how nasty I am to myself, and I'm trying to stop it. So I know I get a lot of comments saying you should really stop doing that. I am trying. I know it's the dark side of Dave that likes to just tell me to shut my mouth because no one cares what you say and nobody cares for you and all that kind of lovely mental health issue that I have. So no, you shut up for a change. Let me talk. How about that? But yeah, so anyway, I am super, super, super happy about that. I'm glad that came across like it did because those DI sounds are the exact sounds I want to hear, and they're the exact sounds I programmed into the Katana. It is exactly what it is, and I like that very much. The K-Switch is really cool. I say there are some issues with it. It would have been cool to have dual function foot switches so you can go from channel 4 to channel 8, channel 3 to channel 7. That kind of thing would have been cool. And also to have like access to kind of the effects on a separate thing, so you don't have to press another button and then engage it and then de-engage it. That's deselect it, should we say. It'd be nice to have that. And also the latency issue. I don't know if that's to do with the lead that comes with it, because the lead that came with it wasn't the best quality stereo lead. Oh, and that's another thing as well. It needs to be a stereo lead. You can't use just a normal guitar lead. And that, to me, is a little bit of a pig as well, because stereo leads can be a bit... But not hard to come by, but very a bit annoying. It'd be nice to just, it'd be nice just to kind of have a guitar lead that goes into the K-switch instead. But yeah, such is life. But yeah, I don't know if it's the lead that's causing latency. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go, everybody, because I'm running out of time and battery as well on the camera. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vid. Do I recommend the K-switch? Definitely recommend it. It's so cool. If you've got the 100, I reckon it's a need. Because, like I say, if I was to get any gig now, that will be coming with me as a backup, just in case my pedal board goes down, because I know I can do everything I need from the K-switch, which is really, really cool. And also, you have the ability to plug in expression pedals, so you can get wah-wah pedals in that thing. You can have expression pedals. That could be your entire pedal board. It's crazy. I didn't talk about that, and I do apologise. But out the back of it, there is the ability to kind of like run expression pedals and stuff. I do apologise. I forgot all about that. I got wrapped up so quickly in other things. But so yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vid, everybody, on the K-switch and the DIs as well. Now, let me know what you thought to the DI sounds as well in the comments below. I really want to know what you thought to the sounds, and especially what the 100 where you heard the 57 and then the DI. Which one did you prefer and why? Let me know in the comment section below. And I am on a high now. I'm so... Oh my god, this is so cool. It is. I'm so happy. This is so cool. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vid, everybody, and I will see you again for another vid very soon. Well, yeah, I'll see you over the weekend. I'll do a song for over the weekend with the DI on my pedal board to see how it sounds. And then I'll see you on Monday. Monday's vid, I don't really know what it's going to be. We will see when we get there. But anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. And I will see you again then. Yeah, have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. And like I say, let me know what you thought to the sounds in the comment section below. And yeah, see you then later. I am one happy Dave. I'm going to boing off.